It's the second deadly officer-involved shooting Jefferson City has seen this year. We have the latest details on what authorities say led up to a man's death on West Truman Boulevard.
And could City Council ward boundaries be changing in Columbia? You are looking live at tonight's City Council meeting. We'll tell you what city leaders are considering.
And I'm tracking a chance for a few storms the next couple of days, and then we do have even warmer air moving in. I'll let you know what the heat index will make it feel like by the end of the week. Coming up.
ABC 17 News at 10 on KMIZ starts now.
The Missouri State Highway Patrol has identified the man that was killed by Jefferson City police officers earlier today. Thanks for joining us tonight at 10. I'm Deborah Kendrick.
And I'm Lucas Geisler. Troopers say officers shot and killed 32-year-old Clay Willingham of Moberly after he allegedly showed a rifle during a traffic stop just before 2 this afternoon. ABC 17's Connor Hirsch joins us live where it happened on Truman Boulevard in West Jefferson City. He was on scene all afternoon.
And Connor, officers pulled over Willingham for having expired registration.
And Deb, Lucas, according to the Highway Patrol, when those officers pulled Willingham over right here in front of the Walgreens on Truman Boulevard, they walked up to his vehicle and he presented a rifle. That's what they say. Then when they asked him to drop the rifle, he didn't. That's when those fatal shots were fired, according to troopers. This was the scene just this afternoon around 2:30. Truman Boulevard was completely shut down for at least 2 hours as officials investigated the deadly shooting. According to a press release from the Highway Patrol, 2 officers fired their guns at 32-year-old Clay Willingham of Moberly, claiming they were fearful for their safety as he wouldn't put down his rifle. Willingham was pronounced dead on the scene. The officers were not injured. Now the Missouri State Highway Patrol is investigating the shooting for the Jefferson City Police Department. This is the second officer-involved shooting in Jefferson City this year after officers shot and killed a man who allegedly ran at them with a knife in a popular shopping complex in early January. This also comes just about 2 weeks after another deadly officer-involved shooting in Columbia, where police shot and killed James Sears III after he allegedly drew a gun on officers. Today, one area business manager told me she and her staff heard about 4 to 5 shots outside their door, so they locked the doors because they weren't sure what was going on. Other businesses told me they heard what was happening too, but didn't close this afternoon. As for what's next, the Missouri State Highway Patrol will continue to investigate this shooting to determine whether or not this use of force was lawful. Now, we, of course, will continue our coverage on this and give you updates on air and online once we learn more. Reporting live in Jefferson City, Connor Hirsch, ABC 17 News.
Connor, thank you. The Jefferson City Police Department said no information or comment would be given from the department at this time. Columbia City ward lines could soon change. City leaders are scheduled to vote on a proposal tonight to redraw City Council boundaries.
This is a live look at tonight's meeting at Columbia City Hall. The resolution would create a committee to recommend new district boundaries. Under the Columbia City Charter, boundaries must be reviewed every few years and requires there to be an equal amount of residents living within each of the 6 districts. The committee would be made up of community members. The city last redrew ward lines in 2011.
And then in Jefferson City, leaders continue to discuss a new proposed parking structure downtown. Tonight's City Council meeting got underway around 6. Now, like we reported, it would be located near the Capitol at the corner of High Street and East McCarty. It's expected to cost more than $13 million. Now, if this gets approved by the council, building will start early next year. All 50 states now have a prescription drug monitoring database.
Missouri became the final state to create a database after Governor PARSON signed the measure into law just before 5 today. The PDMP database would collect data on controlled substance prescriptions within the state. The measure passed with bipartisan support in the legislature. Scattered showers have moved out of the area, at least for now.
Storm Track Chief Meteorologist Jessica Hafner is keeping an eye on radar for us tonight. And Jess, you're tracking even more spotty showers for tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, it's going to kind of fire up again towards afternoon, then diminish with the sunset. So it's not going to be an all-day rain, and there will be plenty of places that don't see much at all. Others will likely have some heavy downpours. Not expecting severe weather, but still going to be kind of an active day, especially for areas off to our southeast. Temperatures will be a little bit warmer for tomorrow. We're still quite mild this evening. Many of us are still in the 70s, still about 75 in the capital city, 73 now in Columbia, 74 at the lake, and 73 in Moberly. Tonight we're dropping down into the upper 60s, so it's going to be a mild night. I'm expecting skies to remain clear from rain this evening, potentially seeing another round of showers and storms popping up by late morning into early afternoon tomorrow. These are going to be pretty scattered, but again, still, if you get under one of these, likely we'll have some heavy rainfall for a brief time. Temperatures rise into the mid-80s for tomorrow. It's going to be rather humid too. Those dew points will be climbing back up into the upper 60s. If you're going to be out and about, maybe avoid from about 1 to about 5 or so, the hottest portions of the day. That's when it's going to feel like the upper 80s with the heat index. I am tracking low pressure off to our east, and that's going to continue sending some of that moisture back in our direction, and that's why we'll have that chance for some showers and a few thunderstorms. Here's what the future track looks like tomorrow morning. There's a possibility a few areas could see some of those isolated showers early on, but we'll have a better chance as temperatures start to warm up towards late afternoon. Here's 1 o'clock. We're in the low 80s by that time, feeling like the mid 80s with the heat index. That chance of storms continues through about 8 o'clock or so, and then as sunset returns, we'll dry things out. It's going to be warmer again for Wednesday morning, warming up into the 70s and eventually climbing up into the upper 80s for highs. The heat index is likely going to be in the low 90s for Wednesday, and it gets even hotter from there with rain chances starting to diminish towards the end of the week. I'll let you know how hot it's going to get by Thursday and Friday and how long that's going to last in my next forecast.
Work has officially started on another roundabout in South Columbia.
We told you about the project at the Route K intersection at Sinclair and Old Plank Road last week. It's meant to improve traffic in the area. The construction has been in the works since 2018. City Council member Matt Pitzer says the addition of subdivisions along that road have also increased the need for a roundabout. Work is expected to wrap up in mid-August. During the 2-month closure, Sinclair Road will be inaccessible from Route K. Drivers are asked to find a different route. Charges have been filed against a Jefferson City man accused of kidnapping a woman. Tavares Ware is accused of pointing a weapon and threatening to kill the alleged victim several times during an argument. Police say the two were driving around Jefferson City at the time. Ware refused to stop the vehicle to let the woman out and took her phone so she couldn't call police. He's also facing assault, weapons, and drug charges. We're learning more about what caused a large police presence in Jefferson City on Friday.
Prosecutors charged 26-year-old Trey Garrett today. He's accused of shooting at a man following an argument. Court documents say the alleged victim told police he was attacked by a group of people on Broadway near downtown. Officers say Garrett was identified as a shooter from a photo lineup. 22-year-old Esther Rabunica is also charged in the case. She's accused of driving Garrett from the scene. Both of them are being held in Cole County Jail on no bond. A Columbia man is in the Boone County Jail tonight after police say he fired a gun downtown. Andre Lee is accused in last night's shooting. It happened just before midnight. No one was hurt. Lee is being held on a $50,000 cash-only bond. For the first time in nearly 20 years, government health officials have approved a new drug to treat Alzheimer's disease.
The decision impacts millions of Americans and their families and has already sparked disagreements among the medical profession. This is because independent advisors have repeatedly warned the treatment is not proven to slow the deadly disease. The FDA said it approved the medication based on results that seemed, quote, reasonably likely, end quote, to benefit Alzheimer's patients. The drug is meant to be used in the early stages of Alzheimer's and will take several months before it's available to patients. A year's worth of supply is expected to cost around $56,000.
Still to come on ABC 17 News at 10, where the news comes first.
Court documents are revealing some new details about a shooting on Columbia's business loop this weekend. After the break, we'll tell you what we know.
And roughly $2 million used to pay hackers during the Colonial pipeline ransomware attack has been recovered. We'll explain how next.
Coming up, I'm tracking a chance for some isolated showers and storms tomorrow, followed by a big warm up at the end of the week. I'll